This is Your Other Brothers podcast.
Here's something kind of random and kind of exciting that has developed. You know, we had a about 2 month break in between podcasts. A lot happened. I mentioned the retreat that we did. I mentioned my solo retreat and the trip that I took. Something that has been brewing, something that has just been, slowly percolating, a little seed planted in the soil. Hasn't sprouted yet per se. I wouldn't use the language of sprouting if we're using a garden metaphor, but a seed has definitely been planted, and we've talked about it as a leadership team. We've started to talk about it amongst ourselves, and we're putting it out now to our listenership and to the community, and just going to trust that the seed goes wherever it's supposed to. If it's supposed to grow, then I have no doubt it's going to grow. That seed going to grow. But what we wanted to talk about, we've joked about it so much over the years, this concept of your other sisters, or as we would say it in our community, yas. Just yas. That is something we've joked about, and it's something I've seriously prayed about from time to time. Like, yeah, God, if there's a woman out there, if there's a group of women out there who would want to take on this thing, this community that's sort of like ours, but would also probably be very different from ours. If that's a possibility, if that could exist, then yeah, Lord, make it happen. And I remember mentioning it on a podcast, I don't know how many months ago. And I think my pastor might have mentioned it on a podcast that I did with him. And so it's kind of been put out there here and there. And it's been really fun. It's been a really cool process over the last couple of months to have conversations with one particular woman out there listening, who's been listening to our podcast for years now and loves what we do, big fan of what we do, and just decided to reach out one day, reached out to me, shared some of her stories, shared some of her heart. And I've been in a posture of listening and just trying to see, like, yeah, does this feel right? Does this feel like it has legs to it? Does this feel like it has roots to it? And I don't know definitively yes or no. It's still very early in this process and conversation, but what we did want to do is put it out there to the community that if anyone's listening, if you are a woman listening, or a woman listening, who would benefit from such a community of women attracted to women, whether they identify on the LGBTQ spectrum or otherwise, and they want to explore this idea with us. Like we're just looking for people who want to explore, essentially, is where we're at. If that's you, if that appeals to you, or that's somebody that you know and you want to pass this along to them, please do, because this is it's something that one woman cannot do by herself, just like I could not do Your Other Brothers by myself. This is something that we need multiple women to participate in, and we think there's potential. We think there's potential for it. And we just need to explore it, and we want to explore it. So we're putting it out there that if you are a woman, a woman that you think feels the call, feels interested in exploring the idea. Maybe the call is a bit of a strong label right now, but if it's intriguing to you, if it's something that you want more information on and want to talk about it, shoot us an email. We would love to just dialogue with you and pass you along to the right people. Just shoot us an email at our contact email, contact@yourotherbrothers.com, and go ahead and put YOS in the subject line, YOS, or your other sisters, something that makes it clear that this is what this is for. If you want more information, if you want to be having these conversations with us about starting a Your Other Sisters community for women, let us know, because I think that would be fantastic. Because you guys, like, Ben, Ryan, you guys have been around for years now. Ryan, you go back a little bit further, I believe, but like the idea of a Your Other Sisters, like, has that entered? I'm curious, just because I honestly don't even know. Like, is that something you've thought about either seriously or semi-seriously, or wondered what it could look like? Or is that just like, I don't know, too out there, too visionary?
There have been a couple of times that I've thought about it when I've run across, a woman who experiences same-sex attraction. Just I'll end up pointing her to our site, and inevitably I'll get asked, well, is there something for women? And my answer for the longest time was no, but eventually it became not yet, but hopefully eventually. So yeah, I've had a few different times where I've thought about it.
Yeah, I think a lot of the time when I talk to even men about your other brothers, one of the kind of natural questions is there an equivalent for women? And yeah, well, like you, Ben, my answer has been not yet. We'd love for that to happen one day, and we hope and pray that that will happen one day. And so I'm excited about these new developments.
Yeah, for sure. And I don't know. It's something where there's a tension in me that's like, don't bite off more than you can chew. Like, you guys are doing fine. I think we are anyway. I think we have a great community. I think we've grown a lot in the last few years in a lot of ways, not just quantifiably, but qualitatively. Is that right? I don't know. So there is this tension. It's like, no, just your other brothers, just be your other brothers and let women figure it out somewhere else. There is that tension, but on the flip side, that makes me sound like a horrible, like, self-seeking person. But then the other side of it is like, no, like, obviously I can't do your other sisters, but if someone else can, if a group of women can, if we can align on certain things and diverge on certain things that make sense, like, I would absolutely love to see that happen, because the sense of community that I have found through this virtual community, I mean, it's been unspeakably beneficial in my life. I don't know how to put words to it other than, like, I don't know where I would be without people who are on this call, or people in our community without these retreats, without these Zoom calls. Like, it's just been it's something I've taken for granted, if I'm honest, this mainstay of community, at least once a week in some capacity, if not multiple times a day, on a Discord thread or on a Facebook group or what have you. So, like, the thought of being able to provide that, or help provide a conduit for that for women as well. Because we have had women supporting us on Patreon and shooting us emails, like, semi-frequently, hearing from women. Like, I know there are women out there who have benefited from our podcast or blog or even community in some aspect. But could it be better? Could it be stronger? Absolutely. It could be. It could be more focused. It could be more relatable. So if there's a way we can do this and do this in the right way, that's the thing. We want to do this in the right way and not just rush into anything and be presumptuous. And so if there's somebody out there, if there's a group of somebody's out there that this conversation appeals to you, shoot us an email, contact@yourotherbrothers.com, put Yas in the subject line, because if nothing else, that will make us smile. And then we'll be in touch about what comes next in these conversations to come.
And maybe, dare I say, next stop, your other others for our non-binary siblings.
Okay. See,
is that offensive? I'm not even sure. Like, this is why we need to have more conversations.
Yeah, absolutely. But this like opens up Pandora's box, right? Like, this is like, yeah, for people that are non-binary, for trans people, for moms, for dads, like, this kind of opens up, like, what other communities could we help create, fostering these conversations, whether it's in the form of a podcast, in the form of a blog, in the form of Zoom calls, in the form of a Facebook group, in the form of a Discord server, like, retreats. I mean, there's, like, I don't know, it's cool to zoom out from our little the yob bubble, and like, see what else does God maybe want to do, and just being open to that.